Hello there everyone, my name is Zayred, and welcome back to more of Kamen Rider Memories of Heroes. Then we're going to continue pretty much where we left off, and we're going to go ahead and head to the next area, I believe. Yep. Though to be fair, I think it's a while before we get to the Purification sector, because next up is the Forest area, I believe. We're going to see in a second. It's been a while, so I might need to check, because I've been going through a lot of issues with this stuff. Granted, it's nothing bad, but... Let me check and see if I'm in the right file. Okay, good. Sorry, I've kind of been checking out some stuff while I've been doing this. Swing, bada bada, swing! Again, I said it once, I say it again. One of the best things in this game when you later gain things that allow your rider power to fill back up, because you can form change on the fly really quickly. Also, I forgot to mention this last time, but one of the most frustrating things in this game is the simple fact of the matter being that you can't just... that you can't equip more than one of those files. Huh. Wait, what? Oh. You know what the funny thing is, with Foundation X, I would find it to be hilarious and also kind of cool, but what if Foundation's X leader was actually Kamen Rider X? I know that's impossible due to the fact of the matter being that in the O's double movie, the O's Forze movie, we're fighting Foundation X. Anyone else? Also, speaking of which, I kind of feel upset now just because of the fact of I was looking through Kamen Rider stuff and I found out some of the things that have happened thanks to the Kamen Rider Iceberg. First off, I now know I'm never buying Kamen Rider novel because oh my god, those are except for maybe the Drive one because I haven't heard anything bad about that one. But trust me, just don't buy the Fies one unless you're a fan of Fies and you don't mind what they do to them there. Or the O's one, because that one actually does elaborate on multiple things, more like the King. The double one I'm not sure of, which is what I should be talking about, but again, never checked out the double one, so I can't say anything there. Nice try. I'm just wasting time with him. I don't need to now. But yeah, the novels are kind of messed up, although some of them are pretty good. In case you're wondering which ones, I honestly recommend the O's one and the X8 one if you don't mind what they do to Emu in that one. But let's see here. I'm trying to decide which one to do next. I don't have to do Joker yet. Because there are parts of the game where it will have you switch back to certain riders if you want to. And Joker's one of the ones I kind of want to. Although I still gotta admit, one of the biggest opportunities in this missed opportunities game is not including movie writers. Cause think about it, For sure, for double, I think we could play as Eternal or Skull, which I really would have loved. In the case of O's, let's really have one now that I think about it. Which is kind of sad to say because I kind of wish O's did have a movie writer we can use, but O's was very low on writers. To the fact of where the birds, despite counting as two, despite being the same suit, has two people within it. And 01 had so many opportunities, so many different options. I at least wish his secondary was in here. Just because the fact of all three of their secondaries, I think about it, are part of some kind of police force or some kind of task force that are involved with taking down the monster specifically. Because think about it, Axel is a policeman or is a police officer. Both of them work for at some point. Both of O's work for the Kogami Foundation, which does imply have its own military force behind it. In fact, that's where they get the ride benders and everything. And 01's entire thing is that the secondary and first tertiary are all part of that. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering what a tertiary is is anything beyond the secondary writer. Basically, it started with Kamen Rider Gills and Agito, because G3 counts as the secondary. And the secondary writer, of course, is the writer who would appear second, unless it's Kabuto, where I think he's the last one. But to be fair, Kagami was there from the very beginning, so it works. And I apologize for talking over this scene, but I just kind of want to get that out real quick. But now we're just tracking down two different sources. Now I'm just wondering who we're going to fight. It's probably another villain of Double. So, yeah. In case you're wondering what these are Yummies. Yummies are the villains in, pretty much the Mooks and Kamen Rider O's. They're also what a person appears as before, a person's desire appears as before it fully forms and fully shapes into an actual being. They're pretty much the grunts until someone's desire reaches a certain point, then they transform into something. Depending on the greed would depend on the form it takes. I have no idea why I'm continuing to do this. Come here, you. Swing, Barbara! Okay, I just barely got the S on that one. Let's continue on and see what we fight next. Oh. Yeah. Wait a minute, hasn't he fought you guys before? Grant, I know that was in a movie, but that movie is canon. Because I do know that in the O's, the Forza double movie, I'm sorry I keep saying O's double, I keep saying that because Forza is not in this game. But in the Forza O's movie, I think he does actually fight them at least a little bit. It's either him, or it's the original writers. But in case you're wondering who these are the Greed. Uzari and I think it's Uva. Uzari is the biggest douchebag of all the Greed, and Uva's kind of the one I feel kind of bad for, just because of the fact of the matter being what he mainly wants for the Greed to work together. Okay, that's an annoying one out of the way. Why was it that easy this time around? I've never had a time where it was that easy for me to fight them. But I find it funny because technically when the greeds start dying, these two are the first and last to go. Kizari is the first one to go by the hands of Dr. Maki, the final villain in O's, and Uva, who I just kicked to the ground, is the last one to go, sadly enough. In fact, I do feel bad for him because the way he dies thanks to Dr. Maki is horrifying. Because I'm already 2-1. And yes, I know I already said that. That plus, unless it's Mezul and Gamel, they don't really work well together. In fact, during the anniversary movie, Heisei Generation's final, when the greeter brought back, there's a cute little thing where Mezul is being carried by Gamel. But I'll talk more about them when they appear on screen. Because let's face it here, since all of Double's villains are back, it's not uncertain to assume that like most of O's are back. The only one who I'd have who might not be in would be God, what's his name? Not Uva, but I mean would not be in are the Kyoto Greed, Dr. Maki, and actually no, just Kyoto Greed. And Poseidon. Oh. This is actually kind of funny. Because for the most... This is also something that kind of frustrates me just because the fact of the matter being you don't see their faces. Are they just drawn towards him at this point? The Hawk, Tiger, and Grasshopper medals are mysteriously and oddly colored medals, which one found their way to Kamen Rider O's. Kamen Rider O's can use these medals to become the Tataba combo. Oh yeah, O's is also kind of a funny thing because it's when... Hold up. Features of O's most basic form using the Hawk, Tiger, and Grasshopper core medals. It combines the Hawk's vision with the Tiger's strength and the Grasshopper jumps. That plus they had to put Grasshopper in the initial form because Kamen Rider. A powerful attack with the Meta Jabber. The swords are possible, making it essential when using those. Okay. In case you wonder what the Meta Jabber is, that is what it is. Hey, it's the first achievement I've gotten in this game. Also, by the way, if you ever get the chance to when it comes to Kamen Rider O's, listen to every single theme he has, just because the fact of the matter being that I swear O's has some of the best music in all of Kamen Rider. Because every single song from it, I love. Except for the theme of Kamen Rider Birth. I don't know why, and that's just a personal thing, but I've never really been that interested in it. Which is bad because O's is also one of those shows where I think besides the main theme, he sings almost every single song. Like, I'm not even kidding you here. The guy who plays O's is really, really talented. Like, I'm kind of glad he's one of my first writers. Him and Deno both were. In fact, I still believe it on my computer to this day. I still, from back in the days when I could use my PS3 to download stuff off of Facebook, have his episodes on there. I don't have the movies on there anymore, but I do have all the full episodes. Or at least most of them still. Because I do believe there were a couple I couldn't download. Also, this is another thing I really love about this. It's really sweet to see these two back together again. Because the last time I think you got to see them together, besides the Heisei Generation's final movie, was God, I'm trying to think about the last time. Hmm. I also do have to admit there's a couple of things I wish were in this game as well, because sadly there's no Super Tatobot. The Kangaroo medal's not in this game, which I really would have liked just because of the fact that I love how Kangaroo is a medal that can be swapped from the second to the third slot. It's actually kind of cool, because I think it's the only one I know of like that. Huh. Hmm. Aw. One of Kamen Rider Double's memory gadgets, it can transform from a sound player. Sorry. It can transform from a sound player into the form of a frog. Its high spec microphone and speakers allow superior quality of recording playback. I would love to use that. One of Kamen Rider Double's memory gadgets. Okay, I just read that part. The faintest noise left behind the enemy movement can be detected and tracked to identify its location. The frog pond can also be used to record and playback sound data. It'd be cool if you could use that thing to play other songs in this, but unfortunately you can't. Alright. I also kind of hate to say it, but I kind of hate O's right now in this part of the game. It's because I don't have access to any of his abilities. Again, nothing against how he plays, but it's just that one of the best parts about this game is just using the abilities of the character. Which again, I can't use those abilities right now just because of that. Although I do have to admit, Oats does look pretty nice in this game, and I do like how the fact that, because of the fact that Grid were made stronger to combat for Zeus's plan, O's got stronger as a result. Which I mean does make sense considering the fact that O's medals are so tied into him that at the end of every single one of his episodes, there is a counter to make sure you know which medals he has, so that there's no why can't he transform into this one or why can't he transform into that one. Ah, crap. You got lucky. Alright. Oops, sorry, I just hit my microphone a little. Oh, wait. The dead end sensor's picking up something? Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but the Denden sensor, if there is anything near, it'll automatically search for it. Okay, so let's see here. That one just increases HP. Maybe. I'll say that. I'll say that one for later consideration because I kind of want this one to be equipped to. I'll equip this to O just because the fact of later on when I get his abilities, he's gonna be the one I'm mainly using. But I digress. I'm gonna stop it right here just to be safe because I'm at the 20-minute mark. But thank you all for taking the time to watch and listen to my rambling, and I do appreciate that. This has been Zay Red, everyone, and until next time.